By the front door sat a pair of old, tired shoes. They were brown leather, covered in scuffs, and the laces were a bit frayed at the ends. Arlo knelt down and looked at them closely, wondering why his dad didn't just get a shiny new pair like the ones in the store windows. Every morning, Matteo sat on the wooden bench and pulled the shoes on. He pulled the laces tight and tied them into sturdy, double-knotted bows. "These shoes know the way to a good day's work," Matteo told Arlo with a warm wink. "They carry me so I can carry our dreams." At the construction site, Matteo's shoes were like brave explorers. They climbed high ladders and walked across narrow wooden beams. Every nail he hammered and every step he took was a promise to provide, building a future for other families while thinking of his own. When the workday ended, the shoes didn't stop. They walked through the drizzling rain and stepped over deep puddles to reach the market. Matteo carried heavy bags full of fresh food, his shoes gripping the slippery pavement to keep him steady so he could bring everything home safely. When Matteo finally got home, the shoes were still full of energy. Matteo and Arlo headed straight for the backyard. The shoes kicked the soccer ball high into the air, and they ran fast across the thick green grass. To Matteo, this was the best part of the journey. One afternoon, Arlo decided to try the shoes on for himself. They were so big, his entire feet disappeared inside the dark, cavernous leather. He tried to take a step, but the shoes were heavy with all the miles and the hard work they had traveled that day. Arlo noticed a deep, jagged scratch on the left toe. He remembered when that happened. It was the day Matteo spent all afternoon running behind Arlo's bicycle, catching him just before he tipped over. The scratch wasn't a mark of age, it was a badge of protection. When the front door opened at sunset, Arlo saw Matteo standing there. He looked tired, and his shoulders were a bit slumped from the long day, but his eyes lit up the moment he saw Arlo. The shoes were covered in a fresh layer of dust, but they had brought him home once again. While Matteo rested, Arlo grabbed a soft cloth and a small tin of polish. He sat on the floor and began to wipe away the grime of the city and the dust of the site. He realized these weren't just old shoes. They were made of sacrifice, strength, and a whole lot of love. Arlo tucked the clean shoes neatly under the chair. Side by side, they were resting now, gathering strength for tomorrow's miles. Arlo looked at them and smiled, knowing that one day he wanted to walk in shoes just like those, shoes that worked hard and loved even harder.